Ahoy, welcome aboard the SCS Venerator, the Starcom ship that unfortunately was sucked into a wormhole and flung into an entirely new universe. As one of Starcom's only ships, our job is to explore this newfound universe and see if it's safe for further exploration and colonization. We are one of Starcom's only ships. The other ship, the Aletheia, is somewhere out here in the void. Now we can use wormholes to get around, but sometimes we have to use good old void travel. And I don't know if we're traveling faster than the speed of light here, but we have to travel the long way. So buckle in, hit the like button, hit subscribe as we try to find our sister ship Aletheia. That's odd, I'm detecting a void drag effect, but the nearest celestial object on the scanners is too far away. Maybe there is a rogue planet or other dark object. So for some reason we're slowing down. A gravitational anomaly. Let's leave a log here. As we explore this region, it may be useful to make log entries. Yep, I'd already come to that conclusion. So let's right click and leave a log entry. Commander's log. En route to the local yellow star, in search for the Aletheia, we encountered void drag. A suspected planetoid is in the void here somewhere, and we may have a look for it. We have arrived, and it seems there is a wormhole gate, a stargate, so we can return to our home base. The short way, great. Now we're searching for the sister ship, Aletheia, and there's nothing on the scanners yet, so we have to assume that maybe they've crashed. So let's search all the planets and see if we can't find a sign of them. At the end of the last episode, we upgraded our ship. So we're a little bit more resilient than we were in the last episode, but far from how I would like my exploration ship to be. This is an old impact crater. Ensign Perks notices there is a lack of erosion. These jagged upthrusts will take hundreds of millennia to wear down. At the center of the crater is a recent excavation site. Its layout suggests a Starcom survey team was here. Our first clue. So now we can assume that they've been here at least. Deploying the survey team. A cluster of carved stone pyramids are the only markers of civilization on this planet. Penetrating radar shows the structures had interior cavities at one point, but have since been filled in. There is text, and from his chariot the Telonian pierced the sun with his lance, and then the scintillating jewel, like a lure. With his lance he cast the jewel into the hidden sea, its light illuminating distant new shores. But the shores left behind were now in darkness. A starfaring civilization must have built these. Interesting. Still no sign of our crew, but we do have a ship on the scanner. And it looks like a Starcom ship. A larger ship than ours. This gas giant has an unusual amount of effluent near its core, but we cannot access it due to the immense pressure. Hey, come back here. Slightly faster than this ship. They are friendly. This is Captain Dolson, commander of the Aletheia. Good to see you. While investigating an anomaly, we were confronted by a group of vessels identifying themselves as the Devout. I'm not sure what we said wrong, but they attacked. They don't need an escort back, which is good, but they'll be ready for them next time. Rama, our science officer, was right. There is something going on in this system. And they found intricate triangles, and they've given that to us. Some kind of alien artifact. So they are going to head their way back to our home base, and they've given us some mysterious triangular object they found. That must have been where they collected that from their science outposts. Aletheia looks like they're heading off, perhaps? There's a blue star out there, but it's a bit far away. This anomaly is difficult to spot from the air. The lander makes several passes before it's spotted by Ensign Kepler. From a distance, it looks like an abandoned outpost that's gradually being erased by the elements. Up close, it's apparent that there's some form of camouflage. Most of the useful equipment has been removed, but an unusual object directly connected to some tools of unknown purpose was left behind. We've found an iridescent globe, as well as some shipbuilding components. Let's head back to the gateway. I would like to head to the Blue Star one day, but I feel like we're a little bit too slow. So we will mark this as a future observation. Commander's log. The Blue Star to the galactic northeast is a little bit too far to travel by void methods. We will need a faster ship. But the color of the star is interesting to me. We could head out to our suspected planetoid as well. We will do that. A hostile target sighted. Derelict scout. Let's investigate. A hostile ship, but inactive. A fairly large ship. Let's hail them. This wreck is fairly recent. It looks like it experienced explosive decompression during combat. But it has no armaments. We're trying to find the hidden object. Let's look north of our log position. And see how our speed is increasing, so I'm going to guess that we are heading away. Let's go this way. And our speed is now decreasing. So we're going to assume it's this way. Warmer, warmer, warmer. So we are getting much closer to whatever gravitational object, and we have something on the scanner. Let's have a look. That doesn't look like a planet. Scanners are saying that it's hundreds of times denser than solid neutronium, the polyhedral artifact. This massive artifact is several hundred kilometers along its long axis and is composed of an unknown material. Cadet Glees determines there is a door, but a component to operate it is missing. Triangular object. Yeah. The piece is triangular in shape. Requires a triangle-shaped key to access. I wonder where we could find that. Wait, I am a fool. I am a fool. I think we have it on board. Let's have a look here in our cargo bay. Intricate triangles. Let's analyze this artifact. This material has close to zero resistance, conducting all of the ship's free energy. And this object has the ability to change color. Yeah, that looks like a triangle-shaped key to me. Turn around, turn the ship around. At least it wasn't too long before we realized. Let's try it again. Using the triangle object, we have opened up the thing, whatever it is. Inside is a massive space. There seems to be even larger than the exterior. Despite expanding in all directions, every path seems to converge at a single point. A small platform at the center of the unsettling geometry. At its center is a black sphere. Suddenly, all of the shapes seem to align perfectly in every dimension and the sphere begins to expand. The team hastily retreats, but every path leads back inwards. Just as the sphere seems it's about to engulf the lander, everyone appears outside. That was... I am detecting a buildup of energy from inside the artifact. Move away. Move away. Something's going on. Did we just annihilate the galaxy? Uh-oh. A blast of prismatic energy. The artifact has discharged a massive amount of energy. We just discovered half a dozen previously unknown particles. It's going to do it again. I hope that's not a beacon saying, hey, come and invade. The galaxy is ripe for pickings. The Reapers from Mass Effect, that sort of thing. Let's leave. I was thinking maybe it's a form of star seeding object, you know, to create new stellar bodies. Who knows? Alright, we found the Aletheia. We still need to find the source of the Red Raider attacks, which were the ships that were in nearly every system closer to our home base. I have brought the crew to this system because our map says that the suspected raider base is right here. And I don't know how strong they will be, but the ships that we were fighting on the way here were quite large and very dangerous. So I think I'm going to leave a note here. Commander's log, suspected raider colony has been spotted. But I'm not prepared to go to war with the Red Raiders yet, especially not their home base. And we did solve that anomaly, we just don't know what it is. Alright, I'm going to head back to main base and try and see if we can upgrade the ship for a more of a combat focused role. Let's head back. As we exit this system to the south, we'll be arriving in a system that I visited last mission, in the last episode, and we ran away because there was a lot of stuff there. There was a space base, and there was quite a few large Corvette looking things. So we may have to just run through here, but we will try and scan as many as we can on our way through. Here we are. Let's grab these scans here. No sign of the enemy yet. Survey team away. This antiquated frigate uses fission impulse thrust to propel itself through space. We'll just scrap it. Let's go. 2 anomalies. Eons ago, some geologic event thrust iridium deposits to the surface. Alright, good. Grab them and let's go. Alright, we have hostiles. Both sides of the sun. These guys are okay to take. Alright, there are our Corvette looking things. Oh. No. Our ship is only fitted with light bulkheads. I didn't have enough titanium, or what I think it was aluminium, to make the heavier bulkheads, but still have a large ship. And we only have armor on the front, so side hits are not good. Shoot the main weapons off of these things, shoot the engines off them, and then they're pretty easy to kill. But you just need to be left alone long enough to do it. The weapons are overheating, I think. They're slowing right down. Or we've taken damage. Not quite sure. But we have enough energy. Picking up some much needed aluminum. Alright, 2 more to go. I think there was a space station last time I came here. But maybe not. Yep, there it is. And we have 2 more interceptors, but they are caught on the other side of the sun. We don't repair very fast. I need to find a skill or a way to increase our repair speed because it's really affecting our rate of fire here. The battle stations is okay, it gives you some health back. Those interceptors got around that sun pretty quick. Oh, less than 50% hull integrity. We need to get this thing killed. Success. Grab the supplies. I need to get some of their lasers. They have much longer range than our turrets do. Our ship's in pretty poor shape, down to 25% hull integrity. But every kill we get, we can scavenge them for supplies, so that'll make our ship stronger. damage output is not the greatest. I thought 3 turrets would be good, but not so much. Let's get back to home base. We have to make one jump through here, and then I think we'll be back at a wormhole system. But that whole constellation has now been explored as far as our sensors can tell us. We just need to come back to finish off the raider colony with something resembling a warship. There's a couple of jumps to get to a wormhole system, but we've arrived. And it's taking a very long time for us to repair this damage. So we will make a beeline for the wormhole. Get back to Solano. Relative safety of our home system, the only system that we have colonized. But this space station provides all of our needs. Okay, let's have a word with everybody, it seems. Excellent work finding the Aletheia. You've proven quite capable. It's a relief to know we'll have a second ship nearby while you continue exploration. Now that your command crew have a bit of experience in the field, I'm assigning them a small team of support personnel. They won't participate in survey missions, but they will speed up ship repair. Oh, thank you very much. I see you've taken a break from blowing stuff up to make an actual interesting discovery. The polyhedral artifact you activated seems to discharge energy on a large scale every 14.3 seconds with minimal radiation. I'll be less condescending today. If you want me to be friendly tomorrow, make another discovery. Okay. It's obviously a way beyond our technology. With the brief amount of time I've had with the data, I've come up with 2 hypotheses. 1, it's a beacon due to its unique particles. Or 2, it's to generate very large amounts of energy. Perhaps it requires some additional input. Or even more energy to start whatever process it is capable of doing. Yeah, like I said, I think of like a star seeding apparatus. He's taken a look at the iridescent artifact we've found, and he's seen something like it at the shipyard. It's not very useful for camouflage in space because it doesn't hide heat signature, but it's possible that you can change the color of your ship. If you research chromoplating, you can do so. The little pyramid we found is full of surprises. It's not just a puzzle. The complex rules governing the movement of the shapes are a way to solve equations. The initial configuration is more like a codex. Using the equations for traveling through the gateways, he's used the puzzle for gateways he's known about, and he's come up with new coordinates for other gateways. So perhaps it's a way of finding other stargates. That's cool. Now it's time to use some of our science. We want a crew quarters. We now have access to crew, so we better have some aboard. We can increase the rate that heat dissipates. We want to harden our modules so we take less damage. What do we want next? We want something to do with maneuverability and speed, I think. Advanced handling improves turning and lateral movement. Advanced void surfaces. Let's go with advanced handling. I think I cancelled that. Just under 200 points remaining. Increase the damage per unit of energy of our plasma bolts. Range of our plasma. That would be pretty handy. Fire rate. Let's go with damage per unit of energy. And accuracy. I think we will go with rate of fire. So more damage and faster rate of fire means a lot more damage. Now we need a crew skill. Every crew member with 1 biomed has a 10% chance of preventing support crew from being injured. Speed of our tractor beams. There's a lot of options here. Shows the relative price of resources in a trade. That will be useful because I had no idea what the galactic price was like at that trading station. Okay, it's time to build a ship. Some handy post-commentary here, because I spend a lot of time trial and erroring my ships, and I can't talk while I'm doing it. So I speed it up for you, and basically what here I want to increase, again, the rate of fire that we have. Adding 4 turrets was the key. We've added another 25% firepower, plus 10% rate of fire, plus more damage per energy unit. And I've tried to give us a little bit more armor here, still using the light bulkheads, because I just really can't afford the heavy ones. But I've tried to give us a little bit of armor here, so that if things come from the front, they don't hit rear modules. And I've just got to hope that my turrets stay alive. They are exposed to damage, but that's all we can do at the moment. And having a look at the heat map, the cockpit is taking a bit of heat. But I also can't do anything about that. Alright, our mission now is to head over to the Red Raiders and try and attack their colony with our new Venerator Mark III. That last one was Mark II. Let's see if the next iteration can't actually be a warship. But I've given myself lateral thrusters as well, hoping that we can give ourselves a bit of dodge ability. We were attacked right out of the gate. There was not this much activity last time I was here. I suspected there was a base, but now there is a whole fleet. So maybe I should have pressed the attack before. So having support crew seems to really speed up your repairs, but you also lose them in combat. We lost a couple of the guys even just coming here. So I am trying to minimize hits now, because those guys are going to keep us alive. And look at the scanner, we have a lot of targets. What I'm trying to do here is just trying to disable a lot of the ships. But once they surround you like this, you just have to run. Appears they have a frigate as well, and he is much faster than the other ships. We shot off his prow weaponry. Good. Battle stations trying to patch up the holes. Again, we're just trying to disable the ships so they can't chase us as well. Bit of ram here. Taking significant hull damage, we need to get away, the reactors are out of juice. We've lost our ability to thrust. Okay, you've got to keep your energy above 50% to keep the afterburners on. Today I learned. This looks like a fresh warship, they just keep spawning them in. Urgh. We're on fire, Captain! Get out of there! Trying to shoot the front weaponry off those large corvettes, we'll call them. The frigate is out the back line now, so we should be safe from him for a little while. Hiding out in the void for a few minutes, trying to repair the ship. But I think spreading them out and killing them that way will be the key. It's our frigate friend. Alright, we have victory in our sights. We need to head over there. I think there is a space station above the planet. The space station is sighted, but we have fresh contacts. Focus fire them down. least we're making good income on spaceship parts. Oh, they keep warping in. We're just going to have to focus down the space station, I think. Hopefully that will stop them. I think we might have enough resources now to upgrade to heavy-duty bulkheads at least. Titanium, yttrium. Now if they come at me one at a time, that's great, I can just farm them. That swarm before was a little bit intense for the little explorator. We have more contacts inbound. Interceptors, frigate. Those front mount weaponry they use are very damaging. Whoa, missile inbound. Hit on there, on the starboard side. I think it hit the deflector, fortunately. One of our crew injured in that ram. We're down to 3 support crew. We've burned through our red shirts. Scanning the planet, but we can't land. Yes, we definitely want fixed plasma on the front of our ship. Look at the size of that starbase. That would be the largest one we've fought. Missile inbound. He's useless without that front weaponry. He's still trying to do the strafing attack. Alright, it's not as scary as it seems. Just my plasma are a little bit longer range than theirs, so I just have to shoot them. While they continuously call in interceptors and launch missiles. Ooh, we shot that one down in time. Getting into tickle range with our plasma turret. Well, we picked up the missile system. That's good. So I don't think he'll launch any more at us now. Too close. We have cracked him like an egg. Now let's get onto this planet and see what's here. What looked like a small spaceport from low orbit turned out to be a fully automated manufacturing facility, tracked robots carrying ore from the nearby hills into a refinery connected to the main structure. A Red Raider drone is being assembled on the launch pad. Let's activate it. Oh, natural one. Ugh. Our worry is unnecessary as the facility oddly has 0 ground defenses. The complex is old but maintained by barely sentient robots who ignore the rest of the team's movements. Cadet Glees identifies the main controller systems, and after a bit of a tinkering, the machine stops, and the resources are ours. Ooh, yes, the machine stops today. The Red Raiders have been neutralized as more warp into the system. 2 more targets here to the north. It's time to go home. Oh, we have 1 stop, the Codex. This is a little pyramid puzzle that we gave to our friend back at base. It led us to this system. It seems that some climate disaster in the past century caused much of the surface of this planet to flood. Judging from the visible technology, the planet was a pre-space civilization. As Cadet Glees examines the architecture, a trapdoor suddenly opens and plunges them into briny water. Before the team can react, crab-like creatures wielding spear guns drag Cadet Glees away. Fortunately, his telemetry says that he's unhurt. Should we attempt to rescue them or try to negotiate? That's got a better chance. Via Universal Translator, Ensign Triton establishes that the trap was meant for members of a rival group, and realizing the technological difference is not in their favor, the crabs give us a bunch of metal and tell us to get out of here. I can deal with that. Crab people. We have a hazard over here. Looks like an asteroid field. Nearby yellow star we could travel to, but it would be the long way. I want to upgrade my ship before I do any more open void exploration. These are containers, and they have similar markings to the ones that spilled by that cargo ship near Maya. That's at the very start of the game. That was our job. Alright, let's clean these up. Did Starcom lose another ship out here somewhere? There doesn't seem to be anything of value. Several hundred square kilometers of this planet's surface are scarred with meteor impact craters. Conducting a series of short flights in the lander, they easily gather them. Titanium and yttrium. These are obviously the result of the debris field orbiting the star. Oh, that was volatile. Alright, I will clean these up. I will spare you the hassle of watching me shoot space boxes. We ended up finding some pretty valuable components in there, so we're going to leave a commander's log. Debris field yields rare components. And maybe useful if we need more. Derelict vessel detected ahead. Avoid derelict. It's quite a large ship, same shape as ours. Derelict is in remarkably good condition, particularly since neutrino decay readings on the reactor show it's been dead in space for decades, if not longer. Radiation levels are quite elevated, but it's safe enough for a short investigation. The cargo hold has a number of containers and materials, including some radioactive. So we get salvage rights, blowing the ship up, so it doesn't present a navigation hazard. We're not likely to learn anything from that, because it's ours. Cygnus Lee has seen it before. An ancient stone pyramid rises out of a thick mountain jungle. At one point, the interior was equipped with sophisticated technological furnishings, most of which have been stripped away by looters. Some documents stored in a low-res holographic crystal remains. As Ensign Triton explains, this was an academic institution devoted to the study of the remnants and their artifacts, the old race. Oh, we've got, looks to be a tanker or some kind of freighter. Very slow-moving ship. Let's hail them. This is CXTA 3165. We're carrying authorized cargo only. Our manifest has been logged with the Trade Guild. That's good. Is peaceful exploration a euphemism? Do you mean give us your cargo or we'll be less peaceful maybe? No, we are really peaceful explorers. Really? Well, in that case, you should show that by getting out of my way and letting us get on with our authorized delivery. I'm not sure how our mutual universal translators have chosen to represent our organization's name, but it is a compression of a long list of prior titles. We transport prearranged goods and services between worlds. We cannot enter into any ad hoc agreements, so they won't trade with us. Is this a setup? I told you we're only carrying authorized cargo. This structure is a crude facsimile of the remnant gateways. Crude compared to the remnants, it would be a major engineering feat for Starcom. This large artifact is quite advanced, but it is at least within the technological space that we can comprehend. Glyphs on the structure's surface translate to heretic portal. There is an interface for remote access. Do we want to open the heretic portal? Ensign Perks notes that several million years ago, this frozen planet experienced an unusually warm period. During this period, a short-lived civilization progressed to the Iron Age. And it seems the Great Filter has struck again. Another civilization doomed. Quite a few anomalies in this sector. A large antenna structure is the only technological object on this rocky planet. Sensors detect regular long-range transmissions. The outside surface is covered in glyphs that the Universal Translator interprets as sincere warning, danger on opening, high energy risk from tampering. Ensign Triton says that he thinks the translator is wrong and it's actually a warning. The heretic portal opening monitor, attack response on tamper detection. Let's try and determine its use. The antenna is monitoring a space-based structure in this star system, ergo the portal. It is also regularly transmitting information via subspace to some unknown distant receiver. While it consumes a moderate amount of power, there's little danger to anyone with basic electrical safety skills. Our tactics officer thinks it's a dead man's switch, so we're going to pull it apart. The team is able to extract a lot of resources from that. I feel totally good about stripping... You have the markings of the blasphemer who scrapped forbidden relics on our sacred world. You are condemned as heretics of the Empire to burn. So we accepted his offer. It takes wisdom and faith. Is he going to kill us still? Yes. His offer was death. So because we took the monitoring station down that was monitoring the heretic portal, we have been branded as heretics ourselves. And he is chewing us to pieces. And now the trader wants to talk to us. Sorry mate, we were a little bit busy. Oh, this thing is wrecking us. It's a different design. We haven't seen this design before. Nothing like the Red Raider, and then there's two what looks to be little interceptor planes. We are in bad shape. Trying to keep these freighters between us and the enemy. They are just simple freighters, they're not going to help us, I don't think. Ship's in terrible state. We have hardly any support crew because I should have gone home, but I didn't. Keep trying to push the limits of known space. He's hiding behind... Oh, he's got a clear shot. We've managed to disable the really dangerous one. So he shouldn't chase us. But our turrets are busted. I think we are healed enough. I want to take whatever this thing's got, but it's doing a lot of damage to us, even with battle stations up. Okay, so the markings on that ship were similar to the ones that destroyed our battle station at the very start of the game. But they are much weaker than the ones we saw at the start of the game. So this guy had a quest for us. I'm not sure what it is, but we've accepted it. So we have to head very, very far south to deliver medical supplies. The urge to complete science is just too great to resist. So we press forward in our adventure, arriving in an oceanic world. Let's see what it holds. An island archipelago is dotted with settlements that defy standard technological progression analysis. They have not achieved space flight or any flight beyond simple gliders, but they have other technologies that are only a few decades behind our own. Via translator, a member of the race explains they have access to resources that star travelers prize greatly and are happy to trade. They particularly need aluminum for their gliders. We're trading enough aluminum to buy this island glider so that we can research it. I think that's a good trade. So we're marking this colony so that it's easy to know what they sell. Good price on aluminum. Let's scan these 2 planets and move on. The glider has sophisticated aerodynamics. Nearly 200-to-1 glide ratio in ideal conditions. An anomaly on the rocky planet. A heavy research ship has been stripped of its drives and buried as a makeshift bunker. Judging from the incursions of flora into the support systems, it's been here for some time. Ensign Triton concludes that someone was working on translating a fragment of yet another language, and their most complete effort reads, Lab 3, Generation 3 clones, capsule, 30, stable and sterile. Yeah, we can return to that if we need it. Doesn't seem important. Everything you discover is in the log. Looks like we've come to the end of this constellation. Whoa, that's a big ship. The legendary steed of Whiskermug. It is I, Whiskermug. No doubt you thought me merely a legend, but trust me that I am real. Surely you can't be the Whiskermug. Indeed I am. I confess that I am envious of you having the pleasure to meet one you thought was a myth. Who has the pleasure of making my acquaintance? Well, it is I, Chadicus, Tyrael. Such modesty recommends you. Someday songs will be sung about the time you met Whiskermug. This guy trades. He has quite a few weapon components, but very expensive. What a peculiar individual, chimes in Martina Kepler. I would agree, but his ship is quite imposing. We want him as a friend rather than an enemy. Commander's log. We met a grandiose Xeno named Whiskermug. He was conceited, but did trade using yttrium as a currency. And we could use him for weapons components, I guess. He seems to be scanning planets himself. Ensign Perk sets the lander down upon a high ridge. There is a massive pyramid. The structure has an opening on one side facing a collapsing city. Inside is a gruesome sight. Hundreds of desiccated corpses showing both blunt trauma and kinetic weapons damage. The individual apparently swallowed an object prior to death. So he dug a kaleidoscope out of a corpse. Nice. Better look at it then. This device stores fairly high-density data in a crystalline structure. Shining a bright light through one end reveals a consistent binary pattern through the other. Ah. Catalogue the structure across multiple planets. I couldn't resist going to this star here, but we are on our way. We might even go all the way to the medical delivery. Who knows? We just can't really fight too much. But if it's exploration, we can do it all day. We're not limited by fuel. And so far, an unremarkable system. We have found a survey site. The remains of a repair pit stop. Just valuable resources left behind. Yeah, made it worth it somewhat. We do have a wormhole gate to get home. Whoa, there's a comet! And it's gone. And so are we. We've run out of things to scan. Do we press on into the void? The team says yes. Another derelict ship ready for scrap. This ship is in poor condition, partially from slow excision of entropy, but mostly because it was in pretty bad shape to begin with. captain's log is still intact. They were hired by a group of academics fleeing the devout. They almost returned their money when he saw the ship. Stripped to the bones, no weapons, no batteries, and an old fission reactor. Subsequent entries detail the ship's decay and burial of passengers in space as supplies ran low. The desiccated corpse of the lone Emir stands in the captain's chair. The bluish dust around the captain's chair is his blood. So these guys were running. Were these heretics? Were the heretics just scientists in a newly turned religious civilization? Commander's log found a derelict cruiser. The crew were dead and they were fleeing from the devout towards a stronghold. It could be in the area. But for now we're heading to our next objective to deliver these medical supplies. It was a long journey, but we're here. Lucky the ship can generate food and drink for us. But I still have to go and get my own drink. The team takes standard elevated biohazard precautions upon landing, despite Ensign Ree's assurances that they are more likely to catch Dutch elm disease than a silicon-specific pathogen. They thank us for delivering the medical supplies that will stop the plague, apparently, is happening here. And there's a wormhole, so we can go home the quick way. Beautiful icy planet, no anomalies detected. This planetoid still has a warm core, leading to the occasional volcanic eruption. This lava field may have some heavier elements as a result. Let's analyze it. Poor roll, we only scored 2 iridium. It's time to go home. Starcom ship, the Venerator, has arrived back at her home system in this new and unknown expanse. If you want to see more of her adventures, make sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment to tell me what you're enjoying about the series, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next adventure. Well, let's see what the commander has to say. All of our critically injured troops and support personnel have been moved to the medbay, and new bodies have been loaded aboard. We have some skill points to spend on our crew after a successful exploration mission. Lieutenant Avery's report on the raider factory, excellent work. There's still the open question as to whether the appearance of these raiders was caused by us, but the important thing is that the threat is less pressing. Sensors have picked up an unusual, multimodal, Cepheid variable dwarf star. They are very rare in our universe, and we've never had the chance to study one. I suggested to the commander that it would be an excellent opportunity, and he was not particularly receptive of the idea. His words were, "If it won't lead us to more remnant artifacts or reopening a wormhole, I don't want Chaticus wasting valuable time on academic research." Or maybe the remnants were into these things. We know nothing about whoever made these artifacts except that they were exceptionally intelligent. I'm exceptionally intelligent, and they are way above my level. I'll transmit the coordinates to Lieutenant Avery. The subject of this conversation is very far away from a known gateway, so we have a few tasks. Upgrade our research, level up the crew. We want to take a new crew skill. I want something to do with repairing. We don't want observation yet. What about engineering? Increases repair rate by 10% for every crew that has 1 point in engineering. With similar skills here for biomed to stabilize crew, as well as prevent support crew from being critically injured. That'll be pretty useful, I think. But we will go with the repair one first. Coordinated response. Then we'll come over to the crew and spend their levels on engineering. Everyone gets 1 point of engineering. And if I've read the tooltip correctly, that means we will then have a 60% buff to our repair speed, which I think is going to be absolutely necessary. So everyone is having a crash course in engineering so that they can all chip in during damage control situations. Then we will put up... The xenoculture seems pretty useful because we're running into a lot of different alien species. And observation will help us find things. So also pretty important. But that's all of our upgrades for this level. We've got a pretty high engineering skill, and I'm pretty sure that we now have 60% repair speed upgrade. Now it's time to build a ship. Oh, I should actually spend the rest of my resources. Let's upgrade coil guns, hey? That would be useful. Increased sensor range. 30%. So no more fighters sneaking up on us. We don't need speed of scan. How about tractor beams? There's a few upgrades for tractor beams. I think power generation will be our biggest bottleneck for building a big ship. And then we've only got 60 points left. What should we spend them on? Dissipation of heat. We're just going to go with accuracy of the plasma weapons. And I'm going to upgrade the ship again. Let's get to building. We've got a few new parts. Hello again, more post-commentary. This time I decided to scrap the ship and to start from the beginning. We've got a battery. We've got 5 weapons, which I'm hoping that we can power them, but we're still going with the same shape. We also have access to a scanner now, so I whacked that in, but I'm a little bit concerned about it taking damage here, so we've put in a deflector on the front. And I was hoping for 4 engines, but unfortunately my gold supply was a bit low, so we had to settle for 3. We're also going to add wings. They apparently speed us up when we're in the void between planets. Whack the lander shuttle on the starboard side of the ship and put a little bit of armor on the left port side in the same slot. Wrapping up the construction here, I realized that I had enough resources for the heavy bulkheads, so I whacked those in. And while we don't create enough energy to power our guns straight out of the generator, we do have a battery there. So we've got a little bit of storage capacity now. And I'm just making a note that I ideally want this ship to have 4 engines, with the lander bay being in the center and the wings being in 2 nacelles on either side of the ship. Heat generation is okay, but we do lose a lot of efficiency under high load, so I don't know what to do about that. Our lowly little exploration ship is starting to take a fearsome visage, a bit more like a war scout now, a lot faster. And there is a universe of possibilities still awaiting us. If you want to see them, make sure you're subscribed. Commander Tyrael, out.